Welcome back to RimWorld. JC here. And now with a little bit of research has been done of basically the permanent walls, I can stick in the blueprints for our walls. This is basically the perimeter of the base. Nice, fibrous mechanites. That's going to be a pain in the ass for you. Oh well. So, yep, I got the walls in. Geothermal there. There's going to be some changes to this because I intend to shift these corners around to work differently. Little pillboxes on the corners with some of the fancy networked turrets that we have been researching. But for the most part, it's at least we know where we're going. I told them to tidy that up as well. JC has called in the security division. They should be arriving planet side soon, he says, having wanted to time this perfectly. Makes a change. Finch's Village. Finch's Village. Is that what you called it? No. Nah, mate. Nah. Right. What you are is what we do. So we look in here and we find wood. And we assign all 3 workers to it. You can go over maximum workers, but it is subject to diminishing returns. Oh no, we can go full on and still make profit. It covers itself, that's about it. Yeah. Right. But their biggest thing is logging or food, depending on events which will happen. We do not really have the silver to invest in this. I also do not have a military because we also have to invest in arming troops. It's just annoyance, but it's the start. I'll demonstrate where they are in a moment. I need to. Here we are. This is. Yeah, long name. Well, it says its full name. There you go. Short name CGF Security. Lovely. Haha. Right. So they're in charge of all of our security, defending other settlements when they come under attack, etc., etc., etc. Also training troops. They do a tiny bit of production, but you wouldn't really do anything with that. It's technicalities, right? Yeah. So close that. They're set. They're just lumbering. Lumber. We do not have the 2,000. It's 1,000 silver for every level you increase. So to get it to level 2, you have to spend 2,000 silver. To get it to level 3, you have to spend 3,000 silver. So you can imagine that's an awful lot of silver you have to sink in to make these very high level. Granted, the extra ones of these unlock at every 2 levels. And these become very powerful. Especially for one in particular, yeah. Artillery outpost. Do you want to call in artillery strikes? Combat efficiency you want to get up. I don't even have the silver for a training yard. So, you know. This comes free with a barracks. Oh, it increases my squad capacity. Isn't that nice? Mostly it just increases the military level, which is... yeah. But also at this point, I can click across to here and... oh, that's what it means. You get slots. I can deploy 2 squads. Is that what the barracks does? It increases, yes, squad capacity. So I can have 2 squads. Now I don't have any squads. You have to make your unit templates. Then you can make squads from unit templates. And fire support. So I'll have to make those, but that's not entertaining. That's the equivalent of doing, like apparel policies and stuff. It's Storefest. So at some point I will have to set that all up, but I'm not going to do it on camera, otherwise we'll be here all day. They set up here. Why are they so dark? Oh, it's only so dark because it was so far away. Once you zoom in, it's a decent colour. I did set the fact the... wait, hold on. Yeah. It does correctly expand my territory. If I go to here, overview, I finally put in the colours. So, if we ever see our own troops, they will have blue armour and outer layers, flak vest, plate armour, dusters. The secondary colour will be to clothing, so shirts, pants, headgear, belts and accessories. So they're mostly going to be blue with a little bit of orange, which is pretty much the channel logo. Mostly blue with a bit of orange. Yes, I actually, between episodes, had to go in and open up a thumbnail and find the colours, because I keep forgetting them and I never write them down. Never write down the RGB values for my colours. So I have to keep going and looking at them. I use them so infrequently. So, what have we got going on at the moment? They are still working on the last bit of the air ducts before I tell them to start putting air conditioning in. Mostly because we're digging steel and using it. We have a steel problem. Who would have thunk it, huh? Let's get them going. We'll get some going. You are just... nobody going to attend that? No, none of the medical people going to come along and attend that? Oh, okay. Some. How about you do your job? Your job is medical. Tend. There you go. Now that person can actually do their job. Oh, you need a bit of a psychic blast to get rid of all this horribleness. Anybody else got anything wrong with them? Not really. Okay. There isn't any taxes. Yes, we'll get taxes, but we've only just set something up, so there isn't anything to tax. And when we do get tax, it's a tiny amount. I have got glass produced now. There it is. It's in there. Got a little bit of glass. So I can get this built now, if I really, really wanted to. But it doesn't require steel. I'll wait until I finish this. How are we doing for components? Not very good. Because of said steel issues. So, yeah. Oh, great. At least the power's fixed. We don't have to worry too much about that. Food is coming along nicely. We've got 420 meals. That's using standard nutrient paste, not the stuff that we're using, which is simple, which doesn't have any debuffs to it. No mood negatives with this one, but it costs 60% more nutrient paste. Yeah, great fun. No, I can't tell this screen to tell me. That's a simple meal. You can tell it to tell you about standard. Dummy label. Nice. So yeah. I can't tell. I can tell it to tell me about standard nutrient paste, but not the advanced stuff. There. Whatever. So yes, this is going to be the perimeter. Where will the infestations happen? Here. Guaranteed they'll happen here. Especially once I build the wall. Because it'll be like a super high priority area for infestations to come up here. Because it's dark, under a mountain. Yeah, overhead mountain in this area back here. And there will be player-made structures nearby. All the conditions needed for infestations to happen. So yes, it's an infestation bait. This corner will be changed to actually have a pillbox on here with something, so they can spawn up here and unleash the Dakar. Just, yeah, fine. A little security door, and then like these ones. That's a big old security door, but I haven't researched that yet because I have to do auto doors first, then you get to do security doors. Why security doors? Giggles? Just for the giggles of it. Also, I can issue security passes to everybody, which means the traders don't try to walk through the middle of my base. They have to go all the way around and then come around to here. Because they don't have the security passes to get through the doors. Yes, please come through here into what will be the front, and then these side ones won't be pressed out. They'll be in line here. So enemies busting in through the front doors will be shot at from 3 sides by turrets plus personnel along the front here. It's not a kill box, it's a kill zone. I'm turning this entire section here into a death zone. Why is that such a large gap? Well, so I can get vehicles out. obviously. So if we're not flying this thing, well, kind of need to go other places because you can't haul an awful lot. Well, it could if I filled it up with loads of space, but you're stashing the steel there. Alright, I'm pretty sure there are better places to stash the steel. It looks like we've got some steel in now. They finished these. So the basic air conditioning. Yep, we've got the basic air conditioning loop. Perfect. We don't really have much in the way of components, but you know. Technicalities? There isn't any rooms here, is there? No. No roofs. So when I finally finish, there'll be like this little nubbin just sort of. I'll just chop that down. Makes it easier for sightlines. You don't want to leave little bits like that where they can sit there and just shoot at you. It's really annoying. I am having a quick gander at what I've got. Visions and not a lot. I don't have an awful lot of stuff. Oh, right. Done this. This is done. All the corners, all. Finally done with all the flooring, but we've got tons of marble, and that's about it. So if I'm going to do anything with chunks, it needs to be either universal or marble. Well, funny that. This will count as universal. Alright, look. Start work, please. Start work on this. So once this is built, I can then start laying out the sunroofs. And that'll be an indoor grow zone. It will have... Oh. Merchants Guild. Yes, you could actually be that person's parent because these are not Xeno genes are not passed on to kids, only germline genes. So you passed potentially these onto here. I think he got it from his dad, not his mum. Just saying. But we do need to check your health. How is your health? Oh dear. Death in 7 hours. Right. Medical team. Come on out. They won't join our faction, which is fine because they're part of the trade guild. Merchants Guild. The local traders who tipped us off about this place in the first place. Or at least another branch of it. So yeah, you know, we'll help them out. Take your time, mate. They're only, you know, bleeding on the floor. Profusely. Sap blood? How'd they get sap blood? But because they've got an astro gene, are special genetic mutations that only become active in orbit. They don't count towards complexity and metabolism of the gene carrier, but they have no effect on the surface of a planet. So why was it sap blood? You know what? I'm not gonna question it. It's fine. They were leaking all over the floor. It's fine. They've been treated. Once they're healed, they'll leave and we'll get some reputation with the traders. Fine. Perfect. Excellent. You cooking up glass? Yeah. Didn't you know you could make glass from marble? Yes, I know that's not how that works. It does in this game. Oh, hello. We've unlocked medium caliber automated weaponry. Stronger perimeter firepower. Yes. Thank you. Auto doors, please. Please start work on auto doors. But we have... I'm going to open that up because it's got subnodes. Directional energy barriers, which... Yes. Heavy anti-armor artillery. You know, just a 120mm automatic anti-armor cannon. You know, for when you really want something to die horribly. Automated grenade projection system. A grenade launcher turret. For when you hate everything in a certain direction. High cycle weapon engineering. It's yes, it's for when you really hate everything. Just you hate the everything that comes along that is vaguely hostile. It may or may not come with a special button that makes it go brrr. Right, what am I looking at here? We're almost done with this. Good. Which means I'll put a roof on that. And I get to put the skylights in. Oh, you got an infection. Is that being dealt with? Yes. You got tended to 61%. You are... Ah! A new ancient asphalt highway. Yes. Combat supplier. When you're finished, can you go and call him up? It's combat supplier, but we'll see what we can get from them. Now, look at... There you go. We build roads. We automatically build roads. Good roads, too. Which is nice. So we'll connect up to here. The next one is going... here, I think that gives me the best mining output. So the road will just extend across to there, and then it's either going to be here or down here, depending on which of these glow forest tiles gives me the best for medical output. Because we're going to have the mineral division and the medical division come along. That's going to be basically... We'll find out where I can put the medical. I seem to remember putting them here in the test one, but we might get more from these depending on what it tells me when I want to place them. But for the moment, we need to get the security online. And we will need to get our local defense squad recruited, trained, provisioned, so that they can then go and defend other places when we call them in. Oh dear. They built this and I didn't. I didn't set it up. It's been cranking these out. Oh, good grief. Do until. Like 60? Yeah. And what we do is we set this to maximum stored 10. One stack. So someone will come along and unload this because it's got 30 in it, and then it will stop. Well, once they put it onto a shelf. Okay, well that drained a few of our meals, but that didn't matter. So we've got packaged nutrient paste meals. Oh, we have a lot more than I thought we did because we've already filled this one up. So this is ready to fly. But once they actually start making chem astro fuel. Well, we've got plenty of chem fuel at the moment, so I'm going to tell them to start going. Make 5 of that. Let's at least try and get the ship ready for a flight, hey? It's got some storage space. It's not great, but better than a poke in the eye, I guess. As long as it doesn't leave half the floor when it takes off. We can go somewhere. We need to hit. Either of these two will work. The ancient stockpile doesn't have a lot of combat on the surface, but there will be combat underground and a lot of exploration. The mechanoid relay, there's some surface fighting, no underground stuff, and it's mostly about hacking. This one has hacking just to get into the underground places and open any doors and stuff. It can be a bit of a pain in the what's it, you have lots of sub maps with that one. You have none with that. So I might hit the mechanoid relay first because, you know, wiping out the mechanoids is not hard. Well, at least I find it not hard. Not with that squad. Can people not do heavy work while I'm recording? Very annoying. Oh, a grav lance. A good grav lance too. That's a very nice weapon. I just so happen to have one of those on our sniper on the test playthrough. Not that I can afford it, but getting one of those, it was very noisy. I mean, it's a Gauss weapon, what do you expect? You don't get to magnetically accelerate a projectile without it making noise. I want to get rid of the heavy SMG. You can have that. Reinforced barrel? I'm not using them yet, so you can get rid of that one. Yeah, no. We'd have to be able to get a lot of stuff. So eventually we'll find another combat supplier and we'll find that, or I can just make it later on. At this point, getting a load of silver would be handy. Yeah, we need to get some engine shuttles as well for later on much later on when we have an orbital facility. we'll have to be able to shuttle stuff up to them. Otherwise, it's a case of we have to send everything via transport pods. And that gets expensive, because a transport pod is steel and component. One shot, so you lose the resources. A shuttle just uses chem fuel. No, they don't have... I don't really have anything I really need. Yeah, components, but I'm actually making components. Although it's an orbital, it's a trade beacon, so I can't see what components I have unless I put... Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Not very much. We'll have some silver. I'd have to tuck one of these orbital trade beacons in here. You have to see. I mean, that's not. Well, it's power, but it's not the end of the world. If I put it about here. So anything in that room can be traded, anything in this room can be traded, and I'm getting components and stuff. 18 components? Right, I think it's time for some air conditioning. How's the steel going? There's a fraction, there's a few crumbs of it left, so we're gonna need to call in another division, basically. We need the mineral division, so that eventually when the steel runs out on this map, I can tithe it. But we might need to get security sorted first, which will require silver. It's a vicious circle, isn't it? But I notice we are all out of time. They might not be able to. Oh, they're roofing it. Thank God for that. Right. I'll carry on working on this later, eventually. So, thank you for watching. Until next time, this is JC.